This probably was the most discussed episode so far in the entire season, and for many different reasons. One, especially, is because the magical girl transformation, Nana's reaction to Toa's power, which was really funny, and of course, the teasing of the the mystery behind freaking Yagami's family and stuff, Hayate and stuff. Like, what's going on in this situation here? Like, a lot of discussions going on. So let's talk about the plot first. This was the best outcome I could possibly think of that could have happened between Nana's group and the Deboli Slayers. The best outcome. The reason why I say that is because you have usually, when it comes to Nana having encounters with people for the first time, it always starts out with a brawl, a serious fight, and nothing's really being discussed. It's just they fight, one of them leaves, and they take damage every single time. There's never a real conversation that ever gets to have until near the end of the arc, and then finally they started to talk and work together, but instead it was a conversation, and we got to understand more. Now, what we see now is that Yagami is finally getting her branches out there on this planet, using her knights slash family to go around and start making branches of their own to take down the creatures. Because having just one branch wouldn't make any sense. So having multiple across the planet, more logical. I bet this was probably a pain in the butt because it takes time to get certain countries and people to be on board with your idea, because most of them are like, I'm not sure, even if they need the help. Some people can be very prideful sometimes. So thinking that must have been a pain, and tons of paperwork and diplomatic talk. A lot of diplomatic talk. But anyways, Reen. Reen shows up and she's the only one that talked. Everyone else, even Vito and all of them, just showed themselves, and pretty much Sheena's perspective, how she views the knights and stuff, and even though some of them she can see as a mature adult that can guide her, then she meets Vito, with like, despite her being small, she's my senior, so I gotta respect her. Pretty much she's really only older than Fate and Nanaha. And I want to say Hayate, but we don't know Hayate's age for some reason. Even her height is different. And it's just this big mystery that everyone's just guessing. And then even Reen showed up, and she's full adult form. Not the little flying fairy we were used to seeing. She's fully adult. Even in the future series, like video series, when she does get in a more human-sized body, she is still the size of a child, in a way. So seeing her taller or the same size as Hayate is, I believe this is the first time. It reminds me of Reinforce from season 2. Her past incarnation. But anyways, we see this and again, okay, Reen is Hayate's daughter in this world. Okay, so that's Hayate's daughter. And people are commenting, wouldn't it be funny, each planet they go to, they make up some sort of lie about Hayate's identity and stuff. Like her age, the situation with the knights and stuff, just making stuff up as time goes on for each planet. It's like, this is my daughter, this is my sister, this is my cousin, and the other knights as well. This is my dad. And it just keeps moving depending on the situation that will be required for them to work with that planet. But it was a fun discussion to have, going over theories and everything. So, anyways, back with the main plot. Both sides are heading on to a supposedly abandoned section where they had a factory, and there are 3 powerful invasive species there. Well, 2 powerful. They call them 3 and 4. They believe if they can find Subject Zero, and take it out, it won't get rid of fully of the invasive species, but it will decrease the threat. If they get rid of the main one, reverse engineer it, find some way to counter these creatures, and they can hold them back to the point because these creatures are invasive. They're dangerous to the ecosystem. They cause harm everywhere they go. They're not good for the habitat. They're just there just to completely just ruin everything. That's an invasive species. So having that around and they're that size, I'm pretty sure you don't see any other normal creatures around a lot lately. I bet finding normal creatures on that planet is extremely hard because those creatures are probably eating them out, or the toxins that their corpse leave behind kills everything else. I bet the ocean barely has any fish in it unless they're very deep at the deep of the trenches below the sea. But other than that, it must suck. I bet meat is a rarity on that planet, and that means it must be very, very expensive. So they made it to the place, but the Diboli sailors made it there first. And despite them meeting, it was what I actually expected to go down. I didn't expect for Sheena and Toa to meet just yet. At least meet in their operative combat formations. Now, before that, let's talk about the transformations. Everyone is saying that this, despite having extreme blood, gore, trafficking, and organ harvesting and stuff on the show, they censored the transformations. Well, they didn't censor it. Censoring is like you take something and you cover up the originality of it for something else. This wasn't censored. It was just changed. I guess for a modern audience, but most people who watch Magic Girl shows know what I'm talking about when it comes to their transformations. It is funny that it was okay when they were younger, but now that they're actually in forces, they were forces and strikers. They had their nude astral body transformations too when they were adults. I guess it's just this new modern age. I guess how things are. So yeah, just how it is. It's because anime is more exposed, so everyone's watching, and they're trying to get the product out to more people as possible for it to be a success. No longer some companies can rely on the niche audience anymore. I guess that's my only thought process of it, anyways. But anyways, Nanaha ends up meeting Toa instead of Sheena, and Sheena just ends up being two of them, and they're like attacking her with all their might. Well, not all their might, but just to get away. But it seems like Sheena doesn't even see them as a threat. She doesn't they damaged her, ruined her combat jacket, which is like a protective magical armor for her. And she's like, "Oh man, you guys ruined it." Like she wasn't even really affected by it or angry. She just healed herself off with her flames, and then just like trying to talk to them, but they just run away instead. It shows how much strong Sheena is when it comes to endurance. They're throwing bombs at her, they're kicking her through a wall and stuff, and none of it's working on her. They're dislocating her joints and stuff, and she's not even bothered by it. She says "owie" and stuff, but that's it. Nothing else matters. It's like, oh well, just take it out. It doesn't matter to her. That's how strong these human Dibolis are. They're high endurance, almost near indestructible. No, it's not close. The one I was interested in was the encounter with Nanaha and Toa. Toa has a very reasonable head. She was attacking Nanaha at first, just to see how she is. They were siding each other up. Nanaha was holding back, and she was probably holding back too. I guess we're seeing who will display most of their abilities first and see how they will counter the movement next time. But seeing that, they actually had a conversation. Nanaha said, "We're here just to destroy the two invasive species, and we know that you're from the Diboli sailors, and we understand that you guys are having a lot of problems in the underbelly of this world, but they have no jurisdiction over that. So they can't do anything about it, unfortunately. When you create a group and you even have good and powerful allies on it, you can't break the red tape. You can't do it. You have to pretty much stay on your side no matter what. you can probably see a bunch of bad stuff happening over on the other side, and you just want to do something about it. You can wipe it off that easily. No threat whatsoever. But you're not allowed to because it's not in your jurisdiction. If you do, it could cause trouble not just to you, but the entire group that you work for. So therefore, you have to stay in line. But that's where the Diabolic Slayers come in. They don't have no jurisdiction. They're not under any authority, so therefore, they're able to do what they please when they can, but however, they're under investigations of the law. But I'm pretty sure most people don't care about it because they're doing their world a favor by taking down the scum of that planet. So they're okay with it. Anyways, so Toa is powerful. She showed that she is good with offense. Really good. She can accelerate her body. She can use ice and even the mist to destroy all forms of communication and detection. The Nanaha was able to detect her easily. And even thanks to the heat powers of Sheena as well, she can also detect her enemies through heat vision. Remember, she's a completely flame person, so she's not just throwing out fire. She has the whole package of what you can do with any version of heat, and that's seeing heat vision. So that's very impressive. So Toa is like, she was reasonable, she stops talking, attacking Nanaha, and having a conversation, saying, okay, you're here for the creature, well, we won't get in your way, just don't get on ours. And as a peace offering, I will slay the creatures for you. And she did. She didn't just slay creatures with it, she went Velvet Crow on them. She devoured the creatures and she went off. And when Nanaha saw that, she had that look on her face. She had that look, that famous look that she always has when she sees a powerful opponent. First, her wanting to talk to someone is one thing, but when she sees a powerful opponent that could be a potential friend, you know what's going to happen. People were making the memes about this. It was like, people like, she just had this look on her face, and people were like, no, don't do it. Don't become her friend. The last one, you just beat the crap out of. It's like, wow. If you don't understand what I'm saying, one of the main jokes when it comes to Nanaha is that she likes befriending powerful people. And by doing that, she likes fighting them and beating them up. And then sooner or later, they become her friend. She did this with Fate. She did this with Vito and stuff. She even sometimes will punish her apprentices and strikers if they're being disobedient. She even befriended the enemies and strikers actually to get them to reform and everything, because she saw them as powerful assets in the future, which did happen. So she loves to fight powerful people and befriend them. But you're not going to walk away without a few broken bones and bruises from her, because she will friend you. So it's the meme. There's even a meme I saw of a drawing where an enemy's running away, all beat up and bruised up, and is running away for dear life. And now has, wait, come back. I just want to be your friend. Oh my god, I think that was my favorite one. But anyways, it seems that the two main antagonists was observing the entire situation, and now they want to get Toa back. They see she wasn't a failure after all, so they want to get her back and probably send her back to the lab and reverse engineer her to whatever, God knows what. Probably make a new product, a new line of soldier, and sell it off the highest bidder. That's the only thing that goes through their mind. So we'll just have to wait and see. All around, the only thing I was disappointed in this episode, for me, was we didn't see them fight the creatures. That's my only disappointment, is that these was numbers 3 and 4, and we didn't see them destroy them. Even though it should be a quick second, it would be nice to see that action scene at least. That would have been nice. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. And that kind of sucked. I really want to see at least some display of her power against a very powerful invasive species. That would have been nice. But anyways, with the animation budget they have, clearly we'll see more interesting fights down the line. But yeah, all around, good episode. It didn't go the way I expected it to, but I'm glad it did in other ways. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrown. I'm Mad May, signing out.